So guys, welcome. This one was for a client which we recently did a setup for, currently finishing off a process, and just an example of how the assets are actually laid out within an offshore structure. Again, so probably one of the final ones I do on this because there's enough information kind of on this YouTube channel now where you can go back and look and see how various operations ran, but it's all very similar, okay, as you can probably imagine. So, starts off with a Nevis trust. I don't need to explain the reasons of this Nevis trust. There's a separate video on that you can go ahead and check out. So the Nevis trust essentially owns two holding companies. There's a reason for this I'm going to come back to shortly. So one is essentially all of his investments, which is here. That is the Cayman Islands holding company. Again, much more orientated towards the financial services, XYZ. And this owns his crypto. Or this can be an exchange, which then owns cold wallets down here. It also owns a brokerage account. What's going on there? And additionally, he has an offshore wealth manager who is managing his wealth into alternative investments. So this can be through a fund. This can be through an offshore wealth manager just acting on his behalf through his capital within this company to give him the best returns possible for obviously the lowest amount of risk. So very simple stuff, you know. Again, he owns a BVI holding company separate to the Cayman Islands holding company. And this then owns actually a Florida LLC, which then owns a property down here, over in Miami. So that is essentially it. It is very simple. When you start to get the gist of things, it's very simple. Obviously, we can help you create a unique strategy that obviously benefits yourself, benefits loved ones, benefits spouses, obviously through as beneficiaries of a trust. Now, the reason these two are different, as I did say I would go ahead and mention, is why would we have it all under one holding company? We just want to create the extra layer of kind of diversification. The Cayman Islands is essentially not connected to the BVI holding company. So let's say, for example, he rents out this property through another US LLC here, or through another company over here that's not even connected, just a bit of a random LLC elsewhere. As you can see, they could potentially come for the property, find out it's owned by a US LLC, find out it's owned by this, and it's going to go to nothing here because no one owns this as a trust. But it's not connected at all to the Cayman Islands, so it's a completely different segment of the structure. And obviously that can be a great benefit in asset protection terms. So it's nice to keep things organized and separate. You've got your investments here, you've got your properties and stuff like that here. Now, if you obviously, then you could also do something like this if you then wanted to own a business. Again, the business could just be ran like that, and this could be business operations, or we can make another holding company over here, and then this can then be some form of structure, basically like this, coming down here, quickly doing it. That will then be your business operations, and everything is then completely separate, if that makes sense. So money would then go back into this holding company, would then switch holding companies, and potentially he could then go ahead and buy a second property with a second USA LLC. Let's say you wanted to buy a little flat in London. You can buy, open up a UK LTD for the additional organisation and asset protection. And you could go ahead and do that. Now, if you did want to obviously just buy the property directly through the BVI, yes, it's quite asset protected, but then the owners essentially could be on a public register somewhere. So it's easier to do the US and UK LLC just to add the extra layer of protection, and also for organisation points of view as well. Obviously, as your wealth grows, you get, more successful, you have more assets, more to manage. It's much more beneficial to keep things clean, organised and efficient.